Glenn Larden, and it is silage season. So I had planned that this episode would be a bunch of yard work, and then I remembered we have our grass field that needs cutting this month. So let's get that done. The little rain notification that's cropped up is not an issue. The rain is not until much later in the day, so that's okay. I have sold a load of manure as well. You may have spotted in the background in the previous video that certainly the temporary cow shed, which has become permanent, was very full of manure. I think there was something like 20,000 litres in there. The other calf shed was pretty full as well, so I marked both of those out and sold it. So rather than trying to store it on the manure heap and that getting stupid, straight into a trailer and straight off to the sales. I think we only made like 800 quid off it, but hey, it's all cash and means we don't have to deal with it. So it's kind of the goal. Just going to reset the precision farming yield menu. I'm so bad at remembering to do this. And the other thing, and it might not be obvious, might be when I have the menus up. So I played this, maybe not at the moment. I did all of this video using a PS4 controller connected to my PC. It's really easy to do. In fact, it's basically instant. You tell the PS4 controller to pair, you look for the Bluetooth device on Windows, and it works. And yeah, it was using that and the macro keyboard that I've got. And it was a really nice setup, actually. I was recording it upstairs, so I know I've got the wheel and all that stuff. I haven't used it in a little while. It's one of those purchases that maybe it wasn't the best idea. But you know, YouTube money and all that stuff. So yeah, I think probably I'll use it for different things. I'm not sure. We'll see. But yeah, so I was using upstairs. I'm not sure how it will work on the laptop. I actually sat downstairs recording the commentary because Mrs. D is still not well, and it might work. It might work. But I'm not sure. But I might give it a go. It's really. It felt very natural using the PlayStation controller. More so playing on PC than playing on PlayStation, which is weird. We'll get to that in a bit because I'm going to talk about the PlayStation series as well. But yeah, it worked really well. It was really nice having the analog control, and might need to adjust it a little bit. I'm not sure if the sensitivity on the steering was a bit high still, but for doing the loader work, you know, loading up the manure, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. As I keep talking about in the Valley of the Old Farm series, these console controllers are really well designed. So yeah, I did ask in Valley of the Old Farm videos about moving that series to PC, and the responses I got, I think there were 3 of them, which is pretty good sometimes for a question on here, were that really don't care. So no, 4. There were 4 responses. Because one of them was Mark saying PC. So I think we are going to move that series to PC. I had thought, based on a comment on a Mr. CDP video or something, that there was a way of uploading existing console saves to a dedicated server. It appears there is not. So that was my plan for porting it across to PC. So unless someone tells me otherwise, Google said you can't. So probably what I will have to do is recreate the save. Now that's not that difficult. You know, we hadn't done anything particularly. We've just put a BGA down. It means we'll get some trees back, but hey, that's, you know, unless if any of you are really, you know, against us regaining some trees that we'll have to work to cut down anyway, then I can go around with lumberjack mod and I can delete some of the trees that we've cut down. But you know, I don't think that's going to be a save changing thing. But yeah, I think probably maybe not this. The sooner I do it, the better, really. So maybe the next video will be done on PC, and that's going to make recording them much easier. I might still do some of them with the almost live thing, but it's going to make recording them much easier. I think I'm actually going to keep it with the way it is, and we'll stick with mostly crossplay mods. I'm going to need to use EasyDev to get back where we are, but yeah, I think mostly we'll stick with crossplay mods. So I probably won't add in things like Maize Plus. I'm not going to add in precision farming, and we'll keep things nice and basic and see what happens. But yeah, that's where we're going with that. I am working on finding a sane number of videos to make a week still. So I think this week is probably going to be the first experiment of that. And this is the first farm sim video of the week. And I'm currently planning for 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5. This doesn't sound any better, actually. 5 or 6 farm sim videos this week. It depends if Kartek and I get to do multiplayer towards the end of the week. Plus the video that the patrons get. So it doesn't feel like a lot less, but it looks a lot less on the schedule. So it doesn't really actually. Basically what I'm planning, and it's because I've got something that I'm putting in one of the slots, and I may end up with something else to put in there. I may swap it. The plan is to do probably Glenarden, Saxthorpe, Valley the Old Farm, do one of each of those, maybe 2 of Glenarden or Saxthorpe, so that gets me to about 5 videos. And then if I've got something to do a mod review on or a tutorial on or that kind of video, I'll do that. And that's kind of the plan. So, and then if I do like 4 Timberborn videos a week, so yeah, that's my reducing the schedule. It's not. It's weird. It's not as bad as it sounds, because like making a Timberborn video takes me about an hour and a quarter. It's not that bad. The tricky bit with that is sometimes not turning it into an epic. And the farm sim ones, the bit I'm struggling with at the moment is everything's the same, and that's something that Kartek spoke about. If you watch his videos, because I think he took like a week off. I'm really far behind on his content, so actually it helped me out. But yeah, you know, it's like on here we're making silage. I'm about to record a Saxthorpe video where I'm going to be making grass silage. Now part of that is because they're on the same day, and it just seems to be how it works out for me. And the saves are quite similar, and hopefully the moving this save to a different style of map will help with that. I was just thinking before I started recording this commentary that I think when we leave here, we're going to sell all the cows. We're going to sell all the animal stuff, all the grasswork stuff. Now, I know Saxthorpe started like this and merged, but I'd forgotten we got the direct feeding kit, or the indirect feeding kit. Could have saved some grass, shouldn't I? Oh well. Yeah, and I want to sell the combines anyway when we can move. So what I might do is do harvest and then sell the combines. And so we'll mainly just, I think, take the tractors over with us and have a much fresher start. So I've got a few tractors in mind that I'm looking at. One that I'd completely forgotten about, actually, and I almost used it on the series I do for the patrons, but I'm saving it for here because it's something. It's a style of tractor that I've not used in a while. In fact, there are two different tractors that I've not used in a while that are coming here. So if you're on Discord, one of them was posted very recently in a picture, and I went, "Is that a good tractor?" Yeah, so maybe you can work it out from there. And I really want to try and make it different, and I think maybe that's the nice thing about the Valley of the Old Farm save, in that mixing things up a bit more. We're doing forestry, playing without a lot of the mods that I normally use means the game just feels a little bit different for me, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing, but I don't know when is FarmCon. I think FarmCon's soon. Maybe not, actually. It's only March, isn't it? But I think we need something to freshen the game up. If you're not on my Discord, People are still making cool mods. So Chisel, who makes Enhanced Animal System, has made an expandable pastures mod. I can't tell you any more about it. I have had a little play with it. It's very cool. It's very cool. And yeah. So people are doing clever stuff in the game, but it feels like, don't know. I really feel like FS25 needs to bring something quite different to the game at this point. And I only started playing FS in FS19, and some of you guys have been playing it from what, so FS09 or whatever it was. But it feels to me like the game needs something different. So I'm not sure what that is. Terra Life. So we're tedding the grass to semi-dry so we can get more silage in the bales. Terra Life would have brought that, but there are issues with that. There are some things that need to happen to get it to work properly that are out of our control. Paul is not available, and losing that leadership has kind of caused that project to drift. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to see Terra Life in FS22. The team that's left are trying, but without the man with the vision, it's kind of hard. So yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame. But Paul's real life is taking priority. So yeah, who knows? Maybe it'll come. Maybe it won't. But without that, I really feel like. And I don't know. I know from talking to Kartek, he's got similar feelings, had similar feelings that we need something fresh. And what I think would, so if we're not getting FS25, then even if we are, there's been hints that there's a DLC coming from DJ Gohan posted it. There's a slot on Steam for another something to do with FS22. Needs to be more than a vehicle pack. It needs to be more than a few extra crops. I don't know what it needs to be, but yeah, it needs to be something because it needs to be something. Anywho, getting a little bit down on the game then. And yeah, so I got cosplay to do the rowing up. It was it's one of those jobs actually, considering I enjoy grass work, I'm not a fan of wind rowing. I don't know why. So we got cosplay to do that, and then I'm going to do the bait. I was just playing around a little bit with having the controller plugged in. And yeah, cosplay did a good job. So let's get the baling done. We've still got the New Holland on demo. Obviously, you saw me use it to mow the grass. So yeah, I think we're gonna be able to hang on to the New Holland until the end of the month. Well, probably will next time we'll get the grass field sorted out again, ready to be planted. I think we've got a lot of slurry to spread, so that would be a good thing to get done. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's one of the nice things about making content on other games. I don't just keep churning out FS videos and getting so stale on it. I do get a bit of a break. But yeah, I'm not sure what Giants need to do. It's certainly not dynamic terrain, before people say. I don't think so. A lot of people are, want more engagement with the animals, in that they have to call vets out and all that kind of thing. I don't think we need that. We're not going to get an animated vet turn up. Maybe vehicle breakdowns. There's mods around that. There's a mod on, I think it's on King Mods at the moment. I assume there's a GitHub for it somewhere. I couldn't find it because I'm not keen on downloading stuff from King Mods at the moment. Yeah, maybe we need that. Maybe they, more in depth. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe we need, or it depends, I guess, because not everyone wants it. But we need like precision farming turned up a bit. Maybe we need moisture, things like that. We were working on for Terra Life. to bring compaction to the game. Maybe we need that. Maybe there are a lot of things that would maybe just make it more difficult. So actually, I think the thing for me is actually that something I've spoken about a little bit on Discord in different ways, that to make the game more accessible, Giants keep the game relatively simple. And maybe it needs a simulation mode. It's farming simulator. Feels like farming arcade sometimes to me. Maybe we need a simulation mode. Maybe, where you have to worry about those things. I've just watched a Tom Pemberton video where they were sorting out drainage in the fields because the fields were waterlogged. Maybe that, and maybe that could come with losing old gen consoles. I know I talk about losing old gen consoles a lot, but you're going to be adding more complicated mechanics into the game. They add processing load. They make multiplayer harder. So harder in terms of the infrastructure, background stuff, the engine stuff. Maybe that's what, that would do it for me, actually. I think if we had to worry about things like that. And it's why I love playing with precision farming, because it adds an element of planning and thinking, and not just a case of stick it on automatic. You can, obviously, but for me, it's generally not just a case of stick it on automatic, have a direct planter that does fertilizer, and you're done. I don't get me wrong, I do use those, but also I like doing other things. I'm just turning around because we windrowed the other way, and that will make it a bit easier picking the headlands off. I like doing as much as I can with slurry or manure when we've got lots of it. I have occasionally applied not complete fertilization when I'm seeding, so I have to come back and spray. Actually, that was something I was talking about on one of the Sax Thought videos, and maybe what it is you can't just apply it all at the start. You have to come back and top the nutrients up. So yes, you can apply all the fertilizer at planting, but will that survive a winter? Maybe in the spring you have to apply an extra bit of fertilizer. I mean, maybe that's where the perfect fertilization with precision farming is aimed at, because that kind of is it. You apply a little bit when the crop's growing on, and you get a boost of yield. The other one, and I'm not sure on this one. I mean, we used to have, with seasons, real seasons, not seasons alike, we used to have withering, and crops would grow and you'd get patchy bits in the field. Maybe something like that. Or I'm not keen on this one, actually, because people always ask, we want natural disasters and all that kind of thing, and that, I guess that varies country to country. I was going to say you don't get them, but like rather than in the US where you get windstorms and droughts, and I'm generalizing on what I see, you get really dry periods, or you get the ground versus, like I'm thinking versus the UK, where over here the problem is more predominantly flooding and crops sitting underwater. And maybe you could have that, but I think probably something you'd have to have switch on and offable, because some people wouldn't want that. Can you imagine you're on a start from scratch, you've just got your first crops in the ground, and you get hit by, and maybe there's another layer that goes with it. You get hit by something and it wipes your crops out, and you're screwed. And, it could be game over unless you could borrow enough money. But if you've already got your loans maxed out, then maybe there would be something that was linked to that. Maybe if you were hit by that, you could get some sort of grant to get you going again or whatever. I don't know. Kind of rambling, as I often do. At this point, I will say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You are awesome. I know I try and say it most videos, but I really do appreciate it. It's it's cool. So pretty much done. I think I'm going to stack these bales at the bottom of the field, because don't necessarily need to sell them. Not sure why I stopped there. Anyway, yeah, don't necessarily need to sell them, so I might just let them ferment at the bottom of the field. But I need to keep them, so I might let them ferment at the bottom of the field and get them sold. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button. Comments, questions, or suggestions below. And we got 35 bales off that field. Wow, that's quite a few. Anyway, I will see you next time.